What time is your flight?
My flight is at 4 p.m.
Who are you traveling with?
I'm traveling alone this time.
Where are you going in Japan?
I'm going to Tokyo first.
When did you book the tickets?
I booked the tickets last month.
Whom did you tell about this trip?
I told my parents and friends.
How long is the flight?
The flight is about 12 hours.
Which airline are you flying with?
I'm flying with Japan Airlines.
Whose suitcase is this on the floor?
That suitcase belongs to my friend.
What will you do in Tokyo?
I'll visit temples and try sushi.
Who will meet you in Tokyo?
No one. I'll explore alone.
Where did you get your passport?
I got it from the post office.
When will you return to the U.S.?
I'll return in 3 weeks.
Whom should I contact if lost?
Contact airport staff or security.
How often do you travel internationally?
I travel internationally once a year.
Which hotel are you staying at?
I'm staying at a business hotel.
Whose idea was this trip?
It was my idea to go.
What are you packing for Japan?
Just clothes and travel essentials.
Who helped you pack your bags?
I packed everything by myself.
Where is your favorite place in Japan?
Kyoto is my favorite place.
When is the best time to visit Japan?
Cherry blossom season is ideal.
Whom did you buy souvenirs for?
I bought souvenirs for my family.
How do you plan to get around Tokyo?
I'll use the subway and taxis.
Which tourist attractions are you visiting?
I'm visiting Shibuya and Shinjuku.
Whose travel guide are you using?
I'm using a guidebook I bought.
What is your favorite Japanese food?
Sushi is my favorite Japanese food.
Who is going to feed your pet?
My neighbor will take care of it.
Where did you get your travel insurance?
I got it from my bank.
When did you last travel abroad?
I last traveled abroad last year.
Whom did you meet during your last trip?
I met many new friends there.
How do you keep your travel documents safe?
I keep them in a travel wallet.
Which local food do you want to try?
I want to try tempura and ramen.
Whose recommendation are you following for food?
I'm following recommendations from online reviews.
What are you most excited about?
I'm excited about the cultural experience.
Who is picking you up from the airport?
No one. I'll take a taxi.
Where can you buy a SIM card in Japan?
I can buy it at the airport.
When do you plan to start sightseeing?
I'll start sightseeing the day after arrival.
Whom did you tell about your itinerary?
I shared it with my family.
How are you adjusting to the time zone?
I'm adjusting by staying hydrated and awake.
Which airport are you flying out from?
I'm flying out from LAX.
Whose travel bag is this?
That's my travel bag, actually.
What should you do if you lose your passport?
Report it to the embassy immediately.
Who will handle your mail while you're away?
I've asked my neighbor to handle it.
Where did you buy your travel gear?
I bought it from an outdoor store.
When does your layover in Seoul end?
It ends in about 2 hours.
Whom will you contact in case of emergency?
I'll contact local authorities or embassy.
How do you plan to handle language barriers?
I'll use a translation app and gestures.
Which app will you use for navigation?
I'll use Google Maps for navigation.
Whose advice did you follow for packing?
I followed travel blogs for packing advice.
What's the weather forecast for Tokyo?
The forecast is sunny with some clouds.
Who will help you if you're lost?
I'll ask locals or use my phone.
Where is your travel itinerary?
It's saved on my phone and printed.
When do you plan to visit Kyoto?
I'll visit Kyoto after Tokyo.
Whom did you say goodbye to before leaving?
I said goodbye to my family.
How are you keeping track of your expenses?
I'm using an expense tracking app.
Which currency will you use in Japan?
I'll use Japanese yen for transactions.
Whose travel advice did you find most helpful?
Travel forums and friends' advice were helpful.
What will you do if you miss your flight?
I'll rebook the next available flight.
Who will be your guide in Tokyo?
I'll explore on my own mostly.
Where did you get your travel vaccinations?
I got them at my local clinic.
When will you update your friends about the trip?
I'll update them when I arrive.
Whom will you call if you need help?
I'll call local emergency services if needed.
How will you handle jet lag?
I'll adjust my sleep schedule gradually.
Which sites will you visit in Tokyo?
I'll visit Tokyo Tower and Asakusa.
Whose luggage is this beside you?
That's my luggage right there.
What do you expect from Japanese culture?
I expect rich traditions and customs.
Who will help you navigate the city?
I'll use maps and ask locals.
Where can you find good food in Tokyo?
Look for restaurants in Shibuya area.
When do you plan to rest during the trip?
I'll rest in the evenings mostly.
Whom did you thank for this trip?
I thanked my parents and travel agents.
How are you staying connected with family?
I'll use video calls and messages.
Which guidebook did you choose for Japan?
I chose the Lonely Planet guidebook.
Whose advice was crucial for this trip?
Advice from travel forums was crucial.
What's your plan if there's a delay?
I'll stay calm and check updates.
Who will handle your business tasks while away?
My assistant will handle tasks.
Where can you exchange currency in Japan?
I can exchange at airports or banks.
When did you last visit a new country?
I last visited a new country last summer.
Whom did you get travel advice from?
I got advice from travel bloggers.
How will you document your trip?
I'll take lots of photos and notes.
Which Japanese phrasebook did you bring?
I brought a basic Japanese phrasebook.
Whose travel recommendations did you follow?
I followed recommendations from travel websites.
What's your backup plan in case of emergencies?
I have emergency contacts and a plan.
Who is responsible for your travel insurance?
I am responsible for my travel insurance.
Where can you get help at the airport?
Visit the information desk or help centers.
When do you plan to start learning Japanese?
I'll start learning Japanese before departure.
Who will you meet first in Tokyo?
I'll meet some friends from college.
How do you plan to handle transportation?
I'll use a JR pass and taxis.
Which area of Tokyo are you staying in?
I'm staying in the Shinjuku area.
Whose travel tips did you find most useful?
Tips from experienced travelers were useful.
What are your top 3 must-see places?
Shibuya Crossing, Asakusa, and Ueno Park.
Who helped you with your itinerary?
I did most of the planning myself.
Where did you buy your travel adapter?
I bought it from an electronics store.
When will you be available for a call?
I'll be available in the evenings.
Whom did you ask for travel advice?
I asked friends who've been there.
How long will your trip last?
My trip will last 3 weeks.
Which city are you most excited to visit?
I'm most excited to visit Kyoto.
Whose recommendations did you trust the most?
I trusted recommendations from travel blogs.
What's the first thing you'll do in Tokyo?
I'll explore the local neighborhood first.
Who is responsible for booking your accommodation?
I took care of booking it myself.
Where can you find a good map of Tokyo?
Maps are available at the airport.
When do you plan to visit Mount Fuji?
I'll visit Mount Fuji towards the end.
See you when we get back.
Definitely. Have a great time.
Bye, Grayson. See you again soon.
Bye, Nora. Safe travels.